Been one V8 for another today.
Yeah, obviously it's a lot quicker, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're racing the F1 and the V8 tomorrow, so that'll be a bit tricky, but looking forward to it.
Is this ahead of a full-time switch next season?
Hoping so. We're going to see how it goes, really. We're getting a car and stuff like that, but I'm hoping to move full-time, yeah.
So it's Wayman domination in 2018 on the Formula 1 ovals?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, there's 4 of us out there, and then obviously I've got my boyfriend Carl out there, so there'll be 5 of us really out there, which is quite hard to keep an eye on everyone while you're out there.
Of course, you can't say you're a new driver because you've been racing V8s for a while and minis and everything now, so I think you're ready for the step up, and I'm sure you're going to do well.
Yeah, I think I've been racing V8s for about 5 years, I think, so obviously, you know, I'm not brand new to racing, but it is kind of learning again because it's so much different. Like racing the V8 is so much different to racing the F1, and it is different, and you are having to learn again, so you know, it's not as easy as people might think going forward to the other. But
and the last question is, you're in second place, any one of the other Wayman families in front of you, you get rid of him?
100%. Yeah, of course you do. After the gates, no family. I mean, obviously, like, I wouldn't annihilate them. I mean, I've last vended Danny once for a place, which he'll remember that, I'm sure.
Well, best of luck, and we'll keep our eye out for you.
Thank you. I just want to say a massive thanks to Dean Whitwell and Paul for lending me the car and mechanicking for me, and they're just amazing. I won't be able to do it without them, so huge thanks to them.
Thank you.
Half cars then for Brisca Formula 1 Heat number 1, 26 cars out there. This meeting sponsored by American Racer Tyres. Names to watch include number 16 Matt Mewson, 259 Paul Hines, 197 Ryan Harrison, all among those starting towards the back of the grid and among the shootout superstars. So look out for local star 322 James Neachel making a return to racing tonight. He's in among the blue grade. There are the superstars towards the back, headed by Luke Davidson in 464. Ben Riley, a Birmingham specialist, in there as well in 422. A fine sight they make under the floodlights. We get underway. 16 laps for heat number 1. Already a bit slow away there, Jordan Folding in 36. It's 3:03 of Carl Whiteman who takes up the early lead ahead of Bill Fenwick in 57. Race seconds in already. The bumpers going in among the Reds and the shootout superstars in this National Points Championship round 8. Neil Scothen getting force wide there in 152 by Ricky Wilson. Good to see him back out in 502. Bouncing around there, Neil Scriven into the wall off turn 4. It's over somebody's front bumper there, didn't quite see who. Here are the leaders. Bill Fenwick in 57 ahead of 101. That is Tristan Jackson. Bounced over the rumble strip there, and a cloud of sparks off at turn 4. He's up the inside, he's going to take the lead as they go into turns 1 and 2. So Jackson leads. Had a couple of wins already this season on the tarmac. We go on board with Ryan Harrison in car number 197, getting the bumper in on 220 of Will Hunter. Ryan Harrison won the final at the last Birmingham meeting here on August Bank Holiday weekend, and somebody off there and walloped straight into the banking and nearly up and over. That's Ben Herdman in 207. He did used to be an auto grass racer, so going up the grass bank there and nearly over it, but a stunt driving there by Ben Herdman in 207. Out goes Ricky Wilson in 502, driving the Chris Bonner car into the wall on turn 4. Ben Riley, a raid master as we've called him this season, attacking the 16 of Matt Mewson with Ryan Harrison. No rain here tonight in Birmingham. A fine autumn day, and a big hit there going in on the back of 411. That's Ian Marr. He's a novice at the wheel of one of the higher cars. Ryan Harrison clearly taking no prisoners here as he tries to move up towards the front of the field. There is Will Hunter chasing Luke Davidson in 464. Not seen much of Luke lately. Fastest lap of the race recorded by our leader, Tristan Jackson. 45 Nigel Harry getting a bit caught up there with another novice, Mark Palmer, in car 163. Like Ian Marr, he's in a car hired from Matt Mewson. That's fleet of cars expanding all the time. Tristan Jackson well out in front now, reached half distance in this heat 1. Carl Whiteman has had a spin in 303. He's going the wrong way around turns 3 and 4, trying to rejoin. 97 of Ryan Harrison making good progress up the field, so is Matt Mewson. So it's Tristan Jackson who leads, Mickey Randall in second place in 172, just under 2 seconds between the two of them. The leader laps the rather wayward Carl Whiteman. Harry's got a lap down in 45. Some furious pace being set here under the excellent Birmingham floodlights. Another big hit goes in from Ryan Harrison. There's local star James Neachel from Sutton Coldfield. Good to have him back out. With Red racing as well tonight in 321. they're not going to catch Tristan Jackson here. The former Super Scots racer is heading for, I think, his second Birmingham win of the season. Here's Ryan Harrison attacking Mickey Randall for second place. Looking for a second Birmingham final win in a row perhaps tonight. He got third in the Grand National last time out as well, and there goes Randall. He's had Luke Davidson stuffed into him there by Matt Newson, so that's wrecked Mickey Randall's race. 3 laps to go for race leader 101 Tristan Jackson. Trying to avoid a tangle with any of the back markers, as here's Newson, a hard-hitting race from him on the back of 322 of James Neitchell. They're battling for third place behind Ryan Harrison. I think Mark Palmer there in the yellow 163 car. 2 laps to run. Ryan Harrison, I think, has escaped into second place. Here comes Newson. Cloud of smoke there down the back straight. Somebody's got engine trouble. Who that is if we can. Back in the order, here's some of the yellow tops fighting it out. Also Kelvin Hassel in number 13. Battlingly recovering. Mickey Randall after his spin, the leader lapping them. Tristan Jackson down into the final turn. There's the cloud of smoke from a back marker ahead of them. It's not going to impede Tristan Jackson. He comes in to take the win in car number 101. Second for Ryan Harrison. Matt Newson third ahead of James Neitchell. The rest of the pack scrambles its way home. It was Bill Fenwick who was pouring out clouds of smoke there in the closing laps. Looks like his engine has let go. No problem for Tristan Jackson. He takes the win in heat number 1 ahead of Ryan Harrison by a clear margin of 4.5 seconds. Newson in third place, then James Neitchell, Ben Riley rounding out the top 5. 20 of the 26 starters going the distance in that heat number 1. It's Tristan Jackson, who also got the fastest lap, again showing his liking for Birmingham Wheels Raceway.
101 Tristan Jackson, heat winner here at night, heat 1 at Birmingham. How was that?
It was really good. The car was on rails and I haven't drove for a while, so I was a bit nervous about, am I still in the groove, but it was good.
Birmingham is a good track for the lower graded drivers. If you can get away at the front, especially with the shootout lads here, you can be away and gone.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, good luck for the final and see if you can do it again.
Thank you, I will.
The other half of the entry on track then for heat number 2, another 26 cars. The world champion is out there, 445 Nigel Green, the National Points Championship leader 390 Stuart Smith as well. Others to look out for include the British champion 515 Frankie Wainman Jr. We're on board with British Touring Car Championship driver and defending under 25s champion in Brisca F1 408 Ant Wharton Eels, racing a Murray Harrison built car tonight. He'll be defending his under 25 championship here at Birmingham in November. See how he gets on going from blue grade tonight. There's the world and European champion 445 Nigel Green starting alongside Danny Wainman in 212. Lee Fairhurst in there as well in 217. Another 16 laps coming up then, and away they go. All again with Ant Wharton Eels. A couple of cars go spinning ahead of him there. Sean Webster is one of them, and Steve Whittle in 183 is another. That's caused problems for the shootout superstars. They have to scatter at turn 4. Junior Wainman gets a knock from Stuart Smith. He's wasting no time in getting the bumpers in. We've lost John Fortune, the Scotsman, there on turn 2 in 164 along with somebody else. There are the Wainmans battling with number 12 of Michael Scriven, but the yellow flag is out. Caution has come out because of these cars stuck on turns 1 and 2. Richard Davies coming to a halt there in 325. John Fortune stuck facing the wrong way in 164. There's the tangle, a couple of the yellow tops there, Fortune and Neil Hooper in 545, the Devon driver. And as John Fortune tried to get away, his car stalled, he couldn't get it restarted, and the leaders in fact did very well to avoid him there. Mark Adkins and Aaron Leach were the men leading the way. We go under caution, then it is Mark Adkins making a return to racing tonight, number 24, in an ex-Joe Booth car. Ahead of Aaron Leach in number 70. He's already had a win this season at Birmingham. 283 Alex Was in third position ahead of Mark Sargent, the East Coast legend as he's known, in 326. We're back underway then with 24 Mark Adkins leading, but Aaron Leach looking to cut underneath him there coming off turn 2. Meantime, the red tops and superstars battle it out between themselves at the back. Lower graders fighting it out at the front. Aaron Leach takes the lead coming off turn 4, the yellow top. We've not seen Brisca F1 before. It's white, yellow, blue, red and superstar, the grades. A bit of wheel banging there down the home straight. Junior Wainman attacking Stuart Smith. Their rivalry continuing. There's Lee Fairhurst in 217 going past Ant Wharton Eels in our camera car. Junior Wainman racing together with his brother Danny. Stuart Smith attacking Anthony Lee in 339. Off from the front and has dropped back the white grader, the less experienced racer. The more points you've scored in previous meetings, the higher your rank in the points chart, the further back you start on the grid. In Brisca F1, 390 Stuart Smith currently leading the National Points Championship. He's dominated the shootout stage. There's former world champion Paul Harrison in car number 2. He's had a relatively quiet season, trying to attack Frankie JJ, Frankie Waitman Jr. in treble 5. There is a 515, his father, Junior Waitman. It's getting confusing at times with all these Waitmans. We've got 4 of them out there tonight. Phoebe, of course, out there as well in 211. We reach halfway then. It's Aaron Leach still with the lead over Alex Was in 283, 326 of Mark Sargent in 3rd, and Todd Jones, the Blue Raider, in 186 up to 4th. There's the Union flag from the start marshal, that's halfway. Still leading the way, Aaron Leach in at number 70. Only a couple of years into his Brisca F1 career, and Junior Waitman locking up there under pressure from Lee Fairhouse, maybe a braking problem. There's the world champion, 445, Nigel Green with the gold roof, looking for his 11th tarmac final win so far this year. Aaron Leach in the clear in number 70, really does like this Birmingham track. Really is one of the best tarmac tracks in the country. Nigel Green now attacking Ed Mitchell in number 321, brother of James, who we saw in the opening race. They've got ahead of Alex Was in 283 and fighting towards the front of the field now. Just behind them there, Stuart Smith, he's under fire from a very distinctive looking car of 326. Mark Sargent, one of the great entertainers of this sport. In goes the bumper from Stuart Smith on the back of 283. Alex Was fires him wide, takes another place. But I don't think they're going to catch Aaron Leach here. He's got a clear lead with 4 laps to go. Ahead of Todd Jones in 2nd, it's Green 3rd, Mitchell 4th, Smith in 5th place. Alex Was down to 6th and under fire from Mark Sargent and from Danny Waitman. Stuart Smith alongside Ed Mitchell goes through, down the back straight up into 4th. 3 laps to go now in this heat number 2 for the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. There goes Junior Waitman, relatively quiet race for him in 515. As I say, I think he's having braking problems. Seems to be locking up going into the turns. Aaron Leach lapping Anthony Lee in 339. Under down into turns 1 and 2. Todd Jones in 2nd place. Nigel Green in 3rd. We're not going to catch Aaron Leach. He'll take his 2nd Birmingham win of the season. 1 lap to go, 1 to win for Aaron Leach. Junior Waitman further back, I don't think he's in the top 10. I think he's going to miss out on the final here, have to go in the Consolation. That's rare for the multiple world champion. Meantime, it's a win for Aaron Leach in number 70. Todd Jones just holding off Nigel Green for 2nd. Stuart Smith takes 4th, Ed Mitchell is 5th. And the rest of them come through, including 541 Stephen Holgate, debutant in Brisca F1 tonight, making the move up from the Rebels formula. He gets a decent finish there. It's number 70, Aaron Leach, who takes the win. Car that Ashley England has been racing as well with him this year. Leach the winner by just over 2 seconds ahead of Todd Jones, with Nigel Green 3rd, Stuart Smith 4th, Ed Mitchell and Danny Waitman next home. Junior Waitman, meanwhile, only 11th, and he'll have to go in the Consolation. 20 of the 26 starters made the finish. Fastest lap went to Nigel Green.
Number 70, Aaron Leach, becoming a bit of a regular on the show now.
Yeah, well, we like that. I'll stay here if you don't mind.
Well, last time we interviewed you as a winner, you were white. Now you've done it from yellow, and Birmingham been a yellow grade track lately.
Tristan Jackson won the first heat and me 2nd, so place to be, obviously.
You're going to have the shootout boys chasing you in the final, but get away from the front, you can do it all over again.
Well, yeah, you have them chasing you in the heat as well, don't forget. It's not just the final. But yeah, it'll be an hard race, that final, it will.
Well, best of luck.
Ta.
Consolation time then for the Brisca F1s. These drivers who didn't make it through to the final at the first attempt. We've got 3 of the Wainmans out there. Junior Wainman, Frankie JJ and Phoebe Wainman. Also number 2, Paul Harrison is out there, and Walt Niels. Jordan Folding, number 36. We saw him pull up early on in his heat. Also got 532 of Daz Kitson, the former Brisca F2 world champion. Bradley Harrison's out there as well, son of Paul. We've got 25 cars in total. There's Michael Scriven, number 12, tarmac specialist at the back of the blue tops. Here we go then, ready for another 16 laps, another 10 cars to qualify for the final. Here we go. Floodlights, the throttles go down, and we are underway. Leading them off It is the 325 of Richard Davies. Mark Adkins in number 24 there on the inside, already getting fired wide. Richard Woods, and wallop straight in goes Jordan Folding again. In trouble on the first lap. It's not been his night at all. Trying to get going again. We're on board with Antwort Niels, the under-25 champion. It's the doctor in on Michael Stewart, 512. This is an Audi S3 run by the AMD tuning team in the British Touring Car Championship. His debut season in 2017, had a pole position at Knockhill. Bit of a tangle there. A couple of blue and yellow graders. Neil Scriven tangling with, I think it was Phoebe Weidman, but they kept it going. Weidman and Paul Harrison probably the favourites for this one. Steve Whittle on the attack there in 183 on the back of Richard Woods. A rare tarmac appearance for Richard. It's Mark Adkins out in front in the number 24 in the ex-Joe Booth car, ahead of Richard Davies in 325. There's Junior Weidman attacking Chris Fort in number 3. It's a place ahead of the blue radar. Your next target is Luke Davidson in 464. We saw him get involved in a tangle with Mickey Randall through in his heats. Battling with Whittle in 183. There's Paul Harrison and his son Bradley running side by side. Bradley Harrison, the first fourth generation driver to race in Brisca F1. His dad, granddad, Paul and Willie Harrison, both big world champions. Bradley's day will come soon. He's racing Phoebe Weidman in 211. Making a move up from V8 hot stocks at the end of this season into the F1s. John Fortune, the lone Scotsman, here tonight in 164, another ex-Brisca F2 world champion. In goes the bumper there. Oh, Walt Niels has been spun out. That's Fortune. Luke Davidson again in trouble, and 411 of Ian Maher's been caught up there as well. Well, this is all playing into the hands of Mark Adkins. He's well clear, the white grader. This is quite often what we see in Mintex National Points Championship rounds. The top names all trying to take points off each other for the points title, and the lower graders get on with the winning because they can get away up front. Bradley Harrison there attacking Junior Weidman, the British champion, with the black and white checkered roof. Retained his title in Sheffield this year. There's number 3 Chris Fort under fire, and 11 Neil Scriven leads Richard Davies wide. Into the wall they go at turn 3, and goodness me, Mark Balmer tangles there with Carl Whiteman, rides over his front wheel. They're stuck there at turn 1. See that from the onboard camera on Antwort Niels' stationary car. Mark Balmer lucky not to roll there, riding over the front of the 303 of Carl Whiteman. So a bit of a baptism of fire here for Mark Balmer on his debut meeting. Walt Niels stranded there, along with our 2 novices in there now, Ian Maher and Mark Balmer, also John Fortune. It's a bit of a graveyard of cars on turn 2. Junior Weidman still cannot get past Bradley Harrison in the number 25. Mark Adkins is still lengths clear up front, looking for a win on his return to action as Chris Fort sent bouncing off the wall there off turn 4. Fort and hard-hitting Consolation. He got caught up there with Stephen Holgate in 541, the Rebels racer. It's another of Matt Newson's cars making the move up to less than 4 laps to go now. There's 478 Shaky Shane Geary, white grader from Northampton, racing on his local raceway in round 9 of the Mintex National Points Championship. 3 laps to go. Nobody's going to catch Mark Adkins here. It's going to be a win on his return to action. Paul Neils enjoying a grandstand view of the action from turn 2. There is Adkins, mapping some of the slower markers. He's about to start his final lap this time. A very impressive drive by Mark Adkins in number 24, lapping Richard Woods in 268. He comes on the inside, one to win. With number 24, Mark Adkins. Round turns 1 and 2, past the graveyard of spun cars. Attack there from Richard Woods. What is Richard Woods doing there? No need to attack the race leader. Nearly got tangled up with him there, but Mark Adkins shakes him off and takes the win. It'll be a well-received victory for the white grader. Through come the rest of them. We'll confirm the results in just a moment. Junior Weidman comes through. It looks like he's got in the final. Will the rest of his family join him? We'll find out shortly. 12. Michael Scriven comes home as Mark Adkins spins in celebration. Oops! And Michael Stewart hits him head on. Now, was that intentional there from Mark Adkins? I'm not sure. Did he spin in celebration, try and do a donut, or did he just lose it there coming off turn 4? Michael Stewart goes head on into him. Hope the drivers are okay. Adkins the winner by 1.3 seconds ahead of Mickey Randall, then Michael Scriven, Michael Stewart and white grader Kelvin Hassel, an impressive top 5 ahead of Bradley Harrison, and the 3 Weidmans get in as well. 19 cars go the distance in that meeting final. Fastest lap went to the race winner, Mark Adkins.
24, Mark Adkins, Consolation winner. We've said all night that Birmingham's been a track for lower graders, and you've just proved us right again.
Yeah, we're all right, wasn't it? Yeah, we did as best, and we didn't get any traffic, so yeah, happy days.
And it's shootout night. Shootout lads are supposed to be going for it, but it's been fairly tame so far, so there's no reason why the final can't be just as good.
Well, I hope so. That'll be good for me.
And we see you've got your pit team here as well, helping you out.
Yeah, chief mechanics here, that's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah!
Well, best of luck for the final.
Excellent, thank you, pal.
As always, Birmingham Wheels Raceway providing entertaining and hard-hitting action here at National Points Championship round number 8. We'll take a short break now. Join us shortly for the finals for our support formulas, also the final and Grand National for the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. That's coming up very shortly after this break. Do not go anywhere. More great stock car racing coming up here very shortly. Welcome back to Birmingham Wheels Raceway here at round 8 of the Mintex National Points Championship for Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. This round sponsored by American Racer Tyres. We're going to take a break from the Brisca F1 action now to take a look at one of our support formulas here this evening, namely the National Mini Stocks for the under-16 racers, the Brisca Stars of the Future. Heats won today by Catherine Harris in number 8 and 246 of Jensen Brickley, while the white and yellow grade championship at the start of the programme was won by yellow top 475 Leah Seeley, only Leah's second win in her racing career. 33 cars, an incredible total out there for this meeting final over 15 laps. Gold top number 1 Jack Witts will start among the favourites. Catherine Harris in number 8, who will turn 16 years old in just a couple of months' time and come to the end of her mini stocks career, will be a favourite as well. Jensen Brickley is in the ex-Charlie Ginchard car that won so many honours in Charlie's mini career. The distinctive estate car of 798 Finn Sargent's non-qualifiers from the heat starting at the back in graded order. This one is going to be a cracker. Here we go with the mini stocks final already. We've got cars spinning all over the place. Lily Finnegan in 55, Harry Watson in 128 has gone as well. So they head round the first turn. Everybody else has got away okay. Chloe Serpel sent sideways there. They're all over each other in the early stages. Somebody else going off onto the centre, Thomas Dunn. It's Bradley Cooper in 468 who leads the way. Coming up on novice grader Finn Hunter Johnson in 120. Jack Witts bouncing off the wall there, coming out of turn 4, battling with Finn Sargent in the 798 car. Look out also for the Evans twins, Tyrone in 381, Lewis in 392. There's Catherine Harris in number 8, the British champion. There's Lewis Evans passing a spun car there. I think that's George Davis in 281, which has spun. Quite a few spinners in those early laps. Typical hard-hitting race action from these youngsters, young drivers as young as 10 race in this formula, and they certainly know no fear. Bradley Cooper also races in junior stocks cars, leads the way, looking for his first win in the formula, chased by Callum Thornton in 68, and Leah Seeley, our new white and yellow grade champion in 475, is in third. Lily Finnegan stranded there on the back straight in the bright pink car. Spinners there on turn 4. Somebody else has pulled up on the outside. That's Amelia Wilkinson in 287. Jack Witts has done the fastest lap of the race in the Gold Roof number 1. Youngest Gold Roof winner possibly in the history of the formula, just 11 years of age, as Ryan Taylor tangles there with the 285 of Bryony Davis. Both the Davis siblings spun on turn 4. Catherine Harris moving up the order, looking for her second win. Could be her last appearance here at Birmingham before turning 16 years of age. Shown there further back, Finn Sargent and that distinctive estate car. Leah Seeley trying to attack for the lead in 475, attacking Bradley Cooper. The battle coming out of turn 2. Mitchell Drivers in there with them in 418, 361 of Lucy Shaw as well. Here's Declan Kavanagh in 291 on the attack on the back of Tom Birchenough in 211. There's Lucy Shaw at the inside, looks like she's taken the lead. Yes, Lucy Shaw's gone to the front ahead of Mitchell Driver. Cooper's down to third. Out goes 330 Jackson Whitehead on the outside. Jack Witts attacking Declan Kavanagh. 246 Jensen Brickley in the ex-Ginchard car behind them. The half-distance flag has gone out in this final for the National Mini Stocks. Lucy Shaw leads it ahead of Driver, Cooper. Catherine Harris, though, is up into 4th place ahead of Leah Seeley. Then we've got Lewis Evans and Jack Witts, so the higher graders starting to make their way forward now. Somebody Harry slowing there on the inside of turn 4. Might well have been one of the Evans twins, I think. Just going in there. Danny Parker under fire from Josh Hampstead, the East Coast champion, won that at Skegness just a few weeks ago. The car slowing up there is the 290 of Charlie Tomlin. Round goes Molly Robson in 267, gets a whack from one of our novices. That was Alexi Bartram in 293. She's a white grader, sorry, not a novice. So Molly Robson getting spun aside there, and the caution does come out. So the caution out for the spun car of Molly Robson, number 267. She recently got her first ever win at Northampton. Oh, and there's more problems there. Under the yellows, one of the white tops getting spun aside as everybody tries to come to a halt on the home straight. We see again what happened. It was a three-way squeeze down the home straight that took out Robson, and then wallop in the back wheel. Alexi Bartram collected the 267 car. Catherine Harris, meanwhile, has got through into the lead. And this restart, this first turn, is certainly not going to be for the faint of heart. Here they go already. A big push. They come off turns 3 and 4. Harris has been picked up. They're not even going to get to the first turn. Harris goes, and there's more cars piling in. Oh, they're all going out behind. Goodness gracious me, there's cars everywhere. Half of them haven't even got to the green flag. Well, that's going to be another caution period, surely. There's so many cars involved there. Mitchell Driver, Declan Kavanagh, Bradley Cooper's in there. There's hardly any of them got through that. That was crazy. There's more cars going off on turn 2. The yellows do come out. Bryony Davis getting spun out there on turn 2. Well, Declan Kavanagh's in there. I can see Mitchell Driver. Leah Seeley's in the middle of all that. Well, Catherine Harris was the first to be spun aside, and as she spun, everybody else just piled in behind. We'll see it again. It was Lucy Shaw and Mitchell Driver. You can see them bumper to bumper there, and there's the big push came in behind. Catherine Harris got spun out, and as she went off backwards, everybody else just forced wide and wallop into the wall. About 10 cars involved there. Goodness gracious me. Gillan Bullock in 101 was the big winner through all of that. He made up about 10 places. So it's Lucy Shaw, number 361, who got through that with the lead. Lewis Evans second, Bullock third, Chloe Serpel fourth, Finn Sargent fifth. Here we go again with another restart. 4 laps to go. Down towards the first turn they go. The bumpers start to fly in. They at least got through to the start line this time. Into the lead goes Evans in 392. Down the back straight. This is terrific stuff. Gillan Bullock under fire from Chloe Serpel. Tyron Evans in 381 in there as well. 2 cars get sent wide. Serpel and Bullock, they drop down the order. It's Lewis Evans with the lead ahead of Lucy Shaw. Catherine Harris is back up into third despite that spin. Brilliant recovery by a very fired up Catherine Harris. Very tenacious young racer she is. Tyron Evans fourth, then it's Sargent fifth, Kavanagh sixth. The order changing lap after lap. 2 laps to run now. The bumpers poised to go in. Here comes Harris. Shaw fires Evans out wide. Harris is going to go underneath both of them to take the lead as they go down the back straight. Lucy Shaw will attack again. She's already nailed Catherine Harris's car once tonight. Sent Lewis Evans out wide. Harris goes and takes Shaw with her. They both go out. Finn Sargent's coming through into the lead as they go into the final lap. Declan Kavanagh's there on the inside. He takes the lead now into turn 1. The Evans twins in behind them. 4 of them for the lead. They're coming down towards the final turn. It's Kavanagh with the lead in 291. Here we go. The bumper will go in from Tyron Evans. He sends Kavanagh out wide. Who's going to cross the line first? They could cross the line 4 wide. It's going to be Tyron Evans in 381. What a superb finish. And Sargent in 798 across the line sideways. Walloping goes Tom Armstrong in 112 into the back of, I think that was Harris's car there. I couldn't keep up with that one. That was one of the best races I've seen this year. Oh, the young guns showing they can match the F1s for entertainment. Tyron Evans the winner ahead of Finn Sargent second, sideways across the line. Lewis Evans taking third ahead of Chloe Serpel and Gillan Bullock. 21 cars out of the 33 somehow made it home in that one. Jack Witts, despite not finishing, got the fastest lap. That is one of the best and craziest races I have seen anywhere this year. Let's see if the Formula 2 stock cars can match that then. They're meeting final over 20 laps. There are 30 cars out there. The heats were won by number 24 John Palmer, the blue grader, and 127 Matt Stoneman from Red Top. We also had the white and yellow grade championship for Birmingham earlier in the programme. With the 20 driver who scored points while white or yellow this season. That was won by 251 Craig Driscoll. Consolation was won by 847 Charlie England, another white grader. This is a round of the National Series for the F2s tonight. We've got a number of superstars at the back, including the current silver top Gordon Moody from Scotland in number 7. There's the European champion Michael Green in 154 alongside Dale Moon in 302. And And then this raft of superstars led by Dan Fallows in 581, 817. Tim Bailey is in there. Great field of superstars. Adam Rubery in 700, 184's there. That's Aaron Vates. Getting ready for 20 laps then. Craig Driscoll and Russ Chadwick in 137 will lead them off. Away we go, and already a bit of push and shove among the superstars. Somebody very slow away there on the inside, so one car hasn't got away. It's Russ Chadwick who will lead them off in 137. James Rogers to the inside in 544. Already the superstars battling it out, looking for the silver roof this year. These National Series contenders. Dan Fallows leads them at the moment. There's 618 Ben Lockwood on the attack. Always goes well here at Birmingham. We've lost 299 of Steve Smith on the outside there on turn 4, the yellow grader. Mooney already putting in some quick times in number 7. So Craig Driscoll, who has the early lead, already a win tonight, and one of the yellow graders, Dave Tadgell in number 20, getting spun around there down the home straight. Race settles in then, 527 of James Riggle, attacking the 700 of Adam Rubery, the former Rebels star, still known as Rebel Rubery. 59 in there, Lee Dimmick, grew up racing mini stocks here at Birmingham and at Hensford. Moving up into the world of Rebels and then Brisca stock cars. Bumpers going in there, around goes Matt Stoneman, earlier heat winner, left and facing the wrong way, 127, the man from Devon. Mooney on the move, the Scotsman in number 7 up the order, multiple title winner over the years. There's Dave Polly in number 38, a previous winner of the Silver Roof, under attack as well. Michael Reed with the fastest lap of the race in 154, but it's still Craig Driscoll who leads the way in 251, been racing in another category called Mini Super 2s this year. He leads Julian Coombs by half a second, Charlie England in 847 in 3rd place, and Matt Linfield, number 464, is in 4th. Mooney gets the bumper in on Dimmick in 59, tries to put him into the back of Dan Fallows, it doesn't quite work. As Chadwick dropping back in 137, in among the superstars and red tops now. Mooney looking to extend his lead at the top of the national points. Battling with Dave Polly over the shootout rounds. The F2s have their own shootout series now. Mooney at the top bit looking to win yet another national points title. Still your leader is Craig Driscoll as we come up towards half distance, looking for his 2nd win of the evening. 7 Thomas Bailey under fire there from 581 of Dan Fallows. Busy all the way down the pack. F2's always racing good numbers here at Birmingham. 6-8 of Sam Weston in there, the blue grader, constantly over. He's going in there, Ben Lockwood in 618 on the back of Dave Polly. There's our leader, 251 Craig Driscoll. Can he hang on in front? We have white grade final winner. He'll go on to yellow grade if he wins this. Still ahead of Julian Coombs in 828. Dave Tadgell pulling off there in number 20, but it's John Palmer, number 24, the oft-controversial Southwest-based racer, there in 3rd place. Always a hard hitter. Doesn't care who's in front of him, he will put the bumper in as hard as he can. The race is starting to liven up in its 2nd half now. Still the midfield battles raging. Here comes Sam Weston in 468, battling Charlie England, the winner of the Consolation, 847. 801 Jack Cave in there as well, Captain Caveman as he's known, the yellow grader. Still Driscoll it is who leads the way, and the higher graders catch him. There's Rob Mitchell, number 905, 3rd in the National Series. Mooney with the fastest lap of the race. 01 Kelvin Marshall, the former world champion, 2015, won the gold at Hensford, ahead of Charlie England. There goes Michael Green, starting to challenge for the lead now, and now Palmer starting to catch Driscoll. Palmer up into 2nd place there, getting the bumper in on Julian Coombs, who drops back behind Michael Green as well. So Palmer and Green are the men to watch here. There's John Palmer, the blue grader, number 24. He's caught Craig Driscoll now. He's going to go for the lead, looking for his heat and final double. Had a great battle with Gordon Mooney and with Michael Green earlier on in his heats. Looks like that battle is going to be joined once again because Green and Mooney are closing these two down. Here comes Palmer on the inside. He gets the bumper in on Craig Driscoll and takes the lead. Coming down the back straight. Driscoll down to 2nd. Now watch for that red and yellow checkered roof of 154 Michael Green, the European and UK Open champion, is catching Driscoll for 2nd. He'll want to attack quickly in case Palmer starts to get away. Green up into 2nd at turns 1 and 2. Just a couple of laps to go now. It's starting a heat up at the front of the field. Mooney not far behind them in number 7. 2 laps to go for John Palmer, the man from Devon, based in Plymouth, number 24. Michael Green from Warwickshire, starting to close him down. This is going to be an interesting finish between these two. There's Gordon Moody in number 7. He's got ahead of Julian Coombs. It looks like Luke Wrench also in there in 5.60. We're on the last lap now. Michael Green is limbering up for a last bend lunge on John Palmer. Here we go, down into the final turn. Here comes Green. He lunges in from way back, wallop into the side of him. Now can they recover? Palmer spins out. Green's going for it. He collides with Driscoll. They go out into the wall. Who's coming through? It's Luke Wrench. Goodness me, Luke Wrench wins it. Palmer smashes into Green and pushes him and Driscoll across the line. My goodness, what a finish. A wrecking train of cars there across the line. Driscoll pushed across the line sideways by Green, and he was assisted by Palmer. They lie wrecked on the home straight. Luke Wrench went from 4th to 1st on the last bend, chased by Gordon Moody. Good heavens. Oh dear, tempers flaring slightly there between Palmer and Green. It's got a bit hot-headed down there. Oh, what a finish that was. John Palmer, I think that is protesting. See what happened there. It was a huge lunge from Michael Green. He slammed in on Palmer, sent him spinning, took Russ Chadwick with them, and then as Palmer and Green tried to drive back out of it, they collected Craig Driscoll. Luke Wrench came through to win, and then Green and Palmer pushed Craig Driscoll across the line. What an extraordinary finish. Looks like the situation has been diffused down there. Michael Green, John Palmer and Craig Driscoll very fired up down there, to say the least. Looked like they enjoyed that one, and I certainly did too. What a cracking finish to our F2 final. The win going to Luke Wrench. He went almost unnoticed from 4th to 1st there, ahead of Gordon Moody, Julian Coombs taking 3rd, and Driscoll, Green and Palmer classified 4th, 5th and 6th, crossing the line stuck together. 23 of the 30 starters went the distance. Fastest lap went to the race winner, Luke Wrench. Stunning stuff from our support formulas. Now it's on to the main event of the evening, the final for the Brisca Formula 1 Stock Cars Mintex National Points Championship Round 8. This round sponsored by American Racer Tyres. We have 29 cars out there on track for this one, including all the shootout superstars who are in attendance. Stuart Smith looking for another final win to try and keep his points lead. As points leader, he starts right at the very back of the grid, behind 217 Lee Fairhurst. Love the blue neons there on Danny Wainman's car, number 212. There's Ryan Harrison alongside Paul Hines at the front of the shootout superstars. Lower graders have done all the winning so far. Let's see if that trend continues in our meeting final. Here they go. Cloud of dust and smoke there as they get off the line. Start to settle in then, the shootout superstars. Slightly more sedate start this time, not quite as hard hitting. Let's see what's happened as they get to the first hurdle. We're going to tangle there between two of the leaders, Kelvin Hassel in number 13 and 478 of Shane Geary. That's given Mark Adkins, our earlier Consolation winner, the lead in number 24. Settle in then, Danny Waveman under 5 from Lee Fairhurst. Shane Geary and Kelvin Hassel get going again at the back. It's Adkins who leads ahead of Alex Wass and Paul Carter. We lose one of the blue tops there on turn 2, didn't see who it was. Forward with Ryan Harrison in 197, chasing Ed Meacham in 321. Ryan Harrison looking for his second Birmingham final win of the season. He won here the first round of the National Points Championship shootout stage in August. Looking for another win here. Waveman attacking Stuart Smith. Smith versus Waveman, a rivalry that's been going on for many decades in Brisca F1. Yellow flags have come out. We have a yellow flag, I think that's for Michael Stewart there in the fence on turn 1. So the race brought under caution. Mark Sargent up in the second place. Tristan Jackson, our earlier heat winner, in third. Being ready for a restart then. It is Mark Adkins up front. First of the shootout superstars in the background there, Ryan Harrison in 197, ahead of Michael Scriven. Mark Sargent in second place, then we've got Tristan Jackson in third, and Alex Wassworth ahead of Mickey Randall. Away they go. Where's Aaron Leach going? He's on the rumble strips there in number 70. He's going to pull onto the centre, but he's kept it going. Yellow Raiders all over each other. Paul Carter on the back of 172, Mickey Randall as we get back underway. Mark Sargent going with our race leader. He gets the bumper in and turn 3, and through he goes into the lead. So Sargent, man from Lincolnshire, up into the lead in 3.26. We see his son Finn in action in the mini stocks final, taking second, crossing the line sideways. Can't go one better. Ryan Harrison on the attack in the midfield. Sparks flying there as Todd Jones clips the rumble strip on the inside there. Don't want to go over those rumble strips too heavily, else you'll be bounced out of your seat. Should know I've driven around this raceway in a cart and I hit the rumble strips. Threw me several feet into the air, at least it felt like it. 390 Stuart Smith battling with James Neachel and Michael Scriven there around turns 3 and 4. Also in there is Danny Wayman in 2-1-2. Smith trying to make his way up the order. Aaron Leach all over the place again in number 70, as is Lee Fairhurst in 2-1-7. Nearly lost it there coming off turn 2. Already quite a few cars on the infield. Still your leader coming up to half distance. Here's Mark Sargent. Sparks flying there as Danny Wayman bounces off the home straight fence, gets the bumper in on Matt Newson in number 16. On board with Phoebe Wayman in 2-1-1. Battling it out further back in the order. Paul Hines ahead of her in 2-5-9. Phoebe getting sent wide there on turns 3 and 4 past the pit gate. That I think was by James Neachel in 3-2-2. Here comes our leader towards halfway. 3-2-6. Mark Sargent. With Ryan Harrison, he is really firing them in further back in the order, attacking Danny Wayman now. Sargent still leading the way ahead of Alex Wass, but Ryan Harrison is up into third. Danny Wayman is a lap down. His blue neon lights have gone out. Looks like Danny has gone a lap down in 2-1-2. He must have been delayed somewhere earlier on. And pulling off to the centre there, so he's got car problems, Danny Wayman. Still leading the way is the 3-2-6 of Mark Sargent. Wass in second, Ryan Harrison in third. Here's Junior Wayman. It's been a quiet evening for the British champion. Couldn't get past Bradley Harrison earlier on. Behind him is Ben Riley, and round goes Frankie JJ in treble 5. Spun out there on turn 4. Here comes Ryan Harrison attacking for second place now. Taps Alex Wass out wide and up into second position down the back straights. Ryan, the former silver top, won the World Cup at Venray in Holland earlier this season. There's Mark Adkins, the early leader, avoiding Frankie JJ's car, facing the wrong way on the inside of turn 4. He's lost the rear panel off that car as well. I'll tell you the reason for Danny Wayman's retirement. He was flagged in due to a loose piece of bumper hanging off his car. So flagged in as a safety measure. Carter there attacking Bradley Harrison in 25. Means the closing stages now of this final of National Points Championship Round 8, sponsored by American Racer Tyres. Bradley Harrison gets shoved wide. 4 laps to go for Mark Sargent, and Ryan Harrison has got him in his sights now. Here comes Flying Ryan, looking for his second Birmingham final win this year. Down the back straight they go. Further back, Junior Wayman getting to grips with Michael Scriven in number 12. To run then, here come the leaders, and surely Ryan Harrison's going to get the bumper in this time. He does, into turn 1, and through goes Flying Ryan Harrison into the lead ahead of the East Coast legend Mark Sargent, who will try to fight back, looking for his first final win of the season, I believe. Here's the battle for third place. Looks like Nigel Green, the world champion, has got through into third. Not seen much of Nigel here tonight, surprisingly. Pace setter on tarmac this season. Coming round to start the last lap very shortly. And Nigel Green catch our 2 leaders. Bradley Harrison pops Aaron Leach out wide on turn 1. Ed Mitchell gets past them. Here is our leader. He's on his last lap now. He's pulled clear of Mark Sargent. They're not going to catch him. He won the final here back in August, and it's going to be another Birmingham final win for 1.97. Ryan Harrison comes off the final turn, smokes the tyres, and he takes the win. Second place goes to Mark Sargent. Nigel Green in third. Check the rest of the results shortly, but it's now time for Ryan Harrison to cut loose in celebration, as he always does. Here comes Flying Ryan, ready to celebrate his win, smoking those tyres down the home straights. Great showman is Ryan Harrison, the son of former world champion Murray. Brother James has had a couple of goes in Brisca F1s as well. He now races in the UK Modifieds Formula along with Murray. Harrison, I think, about to cut loose with some donuts there on the infield. Stuart Smith there pulling up in 3.90, and Ryan Harrison, here he comes. Surely we're going to see some donuts here on the home straight. Yes, here he goes. Ever flamboyant Flying Ryan. Donuts from on board, something you don't see very often in the smoke there. Great entertainment from Ryan Harrison. The stadium disappears in a cloud of tyre smoke. Ryan Harrison the winner by 1.2 seconds, ahead of Mark Sargent to find second, and Nigel Green taking third. Todd Jones and Alex Wass completing the top 5, with Stuart Smith in 7th to keep up his points lead. 22 of the 29 starters went the distance in that one, and Nigel Green in third place it was who got the fastest lap.
197, Ryan Harrison, final winner here tonight. You liking these shootout round finals?
Yeah, we've got some good pace in the car at the minute, and we're really starting to have fun with it now, and we see the pace it's got, and we're showing that we can be on top of our game once again.
There was a small delay before you got the result. What was the problem?
I don't know. They just said that they was watching a video or something. I don't really know. It could be watching EastEnders or something. I'm not too sure. But I don't know. I got the win. I feel like I've never done anything wrong in my eyes. Whether it was somebody else, I don't know. But yeah, we certainly had the pace and took it to them.
And you're a bit far back in the actual shootout points, but you still got to put on a show.
Yeah. Whenever we turn up and race, we'll put in 110%. So we're not going to do all of the rounds. We said that after round 2, and we're just racing when we want to race, and we're having fun.
That's the way it should be. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Last race of the night's the Grand National then, biggest grid of the night with 34 cars, and Lee and Kelvin Hassel lead them off. Ryan Harrison, of course, going from the lap handicap as final winner. Last time he was here at Birmingham, he came through to third place from there, so we'll see how he gets on tonight. Phoebe Wayman alongside Paul Carter. Magnificent grid under the Birmingham floodlights in front of a huge crowd here at the wheels. Getting going from the back. Good to see our two novices, Ian Maher in 411 and 163 Mark Balmer out there once again. They've given a good account of themselves on their Brisca F1 debuts. Blue Raiders headed by Sean Webster in 48, and Walt Meals in there as well, if he can defend that under 25s title here at Birmingham in November. Stuart Smith at the back in 390. Can he take another win? Extend his National Points Championship lead, looking for the silver roof this year. Here they go. 16 laps of distance in our Grand National. Already a couple of cars on the centre. Luke Davidson was one of them. He's had a terrible evening in 464. Ben Riley in trouble as well in 422. Normally goes well here at Birmingham, but he's dropped back there. Into turn 1, they head then a bit of push and shove. Ben Herdman looks like he's back out there in 207. Somebody bouncing off the fence there. Sean Webster in 48, the former saloon stock car world champion. Fight for the lead. Kelvin Hassel, Nancy Lee. Lee tangling up there with Neil Scuthern in 152. They go off on turn 2. On board with Rebels graduate Stephen Holgate, and goodness me, a bit of a pile up ahead of him there. There's cars everywhere on turn 2. One of the marshals running to check on everybody. We've lost Ed Neachel. There's about 4 or 5 more cars in there. Stephen Holgate's race hasn't lasted long. The yellow flag is out because we've got a car park on turn 2. Now, who else have we got in there? Neil Scuthern's in there, Anthony Lee. Matt Newson hire car is that of Stephen Holgate in 541. Try and see again from Phoebe Wayman's point of view what happened there. Well, it was Lee and Scuthern who tangled up, and Wayman walloped into them. And then more cars just piled in behind. Ed Neachel sent spinning around. Steve Whittle involved too in 183. There's the initial tangle. Anthony Lee spun out by Neil Scuthern. And then all the cars on the outside just had nowhere to go behind. In went Phoebe Wayman, pushed by Steve Whittle. Stephen Holgate went in. He got hit by Bradley Harrison. Quite a nasty looking pile up there. Matt Newson and Paul Harrison were in the middle of that as well. I missed that. Paul Harrison getting caught up too. Looks like his back axle may have been broken in that impact. So the marshals have cleared away the stricken cars, and we get ready to get back underway. That will help Ryan Harrison, of course, coming through from the lap handicap, because he's been able to go round to join up with the back of the Crocodile. 283 Alex Was pulling off there. Your leader is Kelvin Hassel in number 13. He gets back underway, looking for his first Brisca F1 win. Restart by Stuart Smith there, having a look at the inside of Walt Meals and Junior Wayman into turn 1. Goes through. His next target is 186 of Todd Jones, and already an attack for the lead. Tristan Jackson, winner of Heat 1 tonight, takes the lead, coming off turn 4 from Kelvin Hassel. There's the world champion Nigel Green, European champion as well in 445, been unbeatable on tarmac this season, but has had a relatively off-the-boil night tonight. 6-3 Mark Barler bouncing off the fence there down the home straight in a shower of sparks. Phoebe Wayman attacking him. Right on board with Phoebe. Mr. Jackson leads. Aaron Leach up into second place. Our two heat winners running together at the front. Green and Smith together into turn 3, but under fire from Todd Jones in 186. Showing no Fear attacking the shootout superstar. Maybe we'll see him next year fighting for the silver. Junior Wainman lets him know his feelings there and wallop straight in goes Todd Jones. Is Todd Jones going to attack back again as they go into turn 3? Well, Wainman's got clear now. He'll go at Nigel Green. He fires him in on turn 4. This is terrific in the midfield. Ben Riley getting involved as well in 4-2-2. The Birmingham specialist wants a piece of this. Now Nigel Green fires Jones into the back of Wainman. Well, all the action's in the midfield. This is allowing Tristan Jackson to get clear at the front. Explosive action between Green, Wainman and Jones. Michael Scriven wants a piece of this as well. And behind them, that looks like Ryan Harrison coming through in 197. He's going to try and battle his fellow shootout superstars. Yes, there he is in 197. Further forward, Antwort Neal's under fire from Matt Newson. Nigel Green dives underneath them in 4-4-5. We are up to halfway. It's still Tristan Jackson out front in 101, but all the action's in the pack behind him. Junior Wainman under fire from Todd Jones again. Jones not finished yet. Terrific drive by the Blue Grader, but he's got a piece of his bumper comes flying off there. Well, saves a bit on weight, I suppose. Let's see if it makes Todd Jones any quicker. And Port Neal's under fire. He's going to get spun out by Junior Wainman, and out goes Ben Riley into the fence. That was a big hit there. Phoebe Wainman fires Mark Balmer in. She's going to spin out as well. I wonder if there's some oil down there on turn 1. There's cars going everywhere, walloping into the fence. In goes another one. Couldn't quite see who that was. Kelvin Hassel was involved there. Here comes some more, crashing into Phoebe Wainman's car. Goodness gracious me. Neil Scriven's in there. Who else have we got? There's about 3 or 4 cars again. All the action's been on turn 2 tonight. The graveyard of cars on the centre already. There's not going to be many finishes, I don't think, to this Grand National. Another one pulls off. That's 4 laps to go for Tristan Jackson, keeping his head, while all around him seem to be losing theirs. Phoebe Wainman, despite being smashed into head on there, has got going again. Well, what a bruising race this is. Typical Birmingham tarmac action. Tristan Jackson in the clear ahead of Aaron Leach in second place in number 70. Where are the shootout superstars? Well, Stuart Smith is the first of them. This is going to really help his points lead. He's up there in third. There's Nigel Green in 4-4-5 ahead of Danny Wainman. 2-1-2 there behind Lee Fairhurst. Just a couple of laps to go now. It's an explosive evening here in Birmingham. Lights of the city in the background above the back straight there. Really is almost a completely inner city raceway, this one. Last race of the night is going to be won by Tristan Jackson. He loves this track, the ex-Super Stocks racer. Dominant win in Heat 1. It's going to be a dominant win here in the Grand National as well. Tristan Jackson comes home for his second win of the evening, his third win in 2 Birmingham meetings, and on the last bend there, Stuart Smith getting past Aaron Leach for second place. Kelvin Hassel gets dispatched by Ryan Harrison on the final turn as well. We'll see in a moment if Ryan's got into the top 10. A superb race there. Todd Jones, Junior Wainman and Nigel Green providing the highlights in the midfield. The red flags go out to end a wonderful evening of stock car racing here in Birmingham. Ben Riley got well and truly walloped straight in. Tristan Jackson the winner by 1 3/4 seconds ahead of Stuart Smith in second, then Aaron Leach third ahead of Lee Fairhurst and Nigel Green. Ryan Harrison meanwhile made it up to 11th from the lap handicap. 18 cars out of the 34 who started made it home in that one, and once again the fastest lap went to Nigel Green.
1-0-1, Tristan Jackson, we're here again, winner of the Grand National now.
Yeah, it was awesome. The car's been really good all night and really happy with that.
And apart from Ryan Harrison, there's been nobody above yellow grade won a race tonight.
Yeah, it's been good for the lower graders, and it's always nice to see it.
And obviously Birmingham's going to fast become a favourite track if you keep carrying on like this.
Yeah, I had my first win in a V8 here as well, so it's been a good track to me. So.
And Yellow Roof's not going to be hanging around for long.
Oh well, I hope it does.
You're more fun from blue.
No, red's are straight on you, but yeah, you look better, don't you, if you're blue. But...
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a look at the National Points Championship after that 8th round then. Stuart Smith with a clear lead, still at the top ahead of Lee Fairhurst, who's got Nigel Green just a couple of points behind him now, and Junior Wainman threatening them to get into the top 3 as well. Matt Newson and Danny Wainman next in the order, but Stuart Smith the clear favourite for silver with 2 rounds of the National Points Championship sponsored by Mintex to go. Terrific action here at Birmingham tonight then, one of the best tarmac meetings we've seen in some time. More tarmac action coming up next time here as we go to Northampton International Raceway. It's goodbye for now.